What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Ben Allen for those of you that are new, and in today's video we're going to be talking about the 5 things I dislike about the Army. And I in no way, shape or form hate the Army as a whole or an organization. These are just 5 things that I think could be improved upon or just kind of like outright suck, you know? But without further ado, let's get into the video. Alright guys, so straight off the bat, the first thing I hate about the Army is the Defect. And I know for some single soldiers it's cool, right? Free food, you get to eat there. But I never go to the Defect. I've been at Fort Bliss for almost 3 years now, and I've only gone to the Defect maybe like 5 times, if that. And it sucks because as a single soldier, they take away your, it's BAS, so it's basic allowance for subsistence or something like that. And pretty much that's like $350 that they pretty much take out of your paycheck automatically because they assume you're gonna be eating at the Defect. And for the most part, it's not the case because sometimes, you know, you don't have time to go to the Defect. I mean, they're very big on letting people off to go meet those like hours that the Defect is open, but sometimes it just doesn't happen. Or sometimes you just don't want to go to the Defect. Like I know personally, I like buying my food. I like cooking my shit, you know what I mean? And not being able to like just get that money instead of like, you know, it being taken away from me, you know, it kind of sucks because I'd rather buy my own groceries. You know, I'd rather finesse it up in the kitchen and like be cooking my stuff. I mean, not really because I just kind of meal prep anyway, so it's the same thing every day. It's ground beef, rice, and you know, some lettuce. But still, I'd rather not spend my own money on that and spend that BAS that's wasted on the Defect, you know, and you know, just use that. But that's number 1. You know, don't like it, don't really care for the Defect, but those of you that do, I'm not knocking it. You know, you do you, but that's just me. So number 2, hurry up and wait. There is a lot of that, and pretty much for those of you that don't know what that is, it's like having a formation at 9 o'clock, right? But they want you to wake up at, you know, 4:30, right, for accountability, right? But that formation at 4:30 is pretty much just for a pre-accountability, for the accountability that's really happening at 5:30. Once you get to 5:30, it's like, okay, cool, little formation, count who's here, but now we have to migrate over to this location so we can do a bigger accountability or something like that. And pretty much you get to 9 o'clock, the time that the actual formation is supposed to be at, and then out of nowhere they tell you the time got pushed back, right? So now you've been up since like 3:30 maybe, so you could like shit, shower, shave, all that stuff for your 4:30 formation that they put out earlier, just for the 9 o'clock formation that just got pushed back to 11. So now you're pretty much just waiting. It's been like 5-6 plus hours and you've done nothing but stand around and all that stuff, you know, which kind of sucks for the most part because there's probably other stuff you could have been doing within that time frame. But that's very big in the Army. It happens way more often than you think. Yeah, it's not fun, but you know, you just got to put up with it. You signed the contract, so you're gonna deal with it. But yeah, hurry up and wait. Not a fan. Never have been a fan. I think it'd be done a little bit differently, but that's how it is, right? And number 3, so mass punishment. Like I get it in basic training, that's cool and all, but you know, like for me, I've never really like gotten the whole idea like in like actual Army mass punishment. Like yeah, if one guy fucks up, smoke that guy, you know, don't get people that had nothing to do with it or even witness what this person was doing, right? Like say that guy was late to formation, so now you're gonna make everybody show up like 30 minutes prior instead of 10 minutes prior because that one individual couldn't make a hit time. Like I get it, but you know, you shouldn't do that. I would just do some stupid shit with that soldier that was like, I'd make him show up like 2 hours early, sign in on a piece of paper that I'm just gonna throw away anyway, and you know, just make him wake up early, like way earlier. That way he doesn't miss that formation. He learns like, hey, you want this to stop? Show up on time. I'm not gonna like take like, you know, a whole platoon worth of people and be like, oh yeah, you know, everybody show up like at this time because this one guy, you know, could make a hit time. You know, that's just, not a fan. But yeah, that's the 3rd thing I dislike about being in the Army. Number 4, hard workers kind of get screwed, you know? Like, so the best way I can explain this is like, say you have like, you know, a really retroactive soldier, really doesn't try, really doesn't do anything, kind of plays stupid, even though, you know, he's probably a little smarter than he lets on, but just wants to get out of work, right? So they don't trust him with responsibility as much as they would a hard worker, you know, who shows up on time, always busting their ass, you know, just day in, day out, doing the right thing, right? Taking on those extra responsibilities for the platoon, the company, the battalion, and stuff like that, right? So they're gonna use that hard-working soldier a lot more often and put a lot more weight on his soldiers, which is normal, which is expected of a hard-working soldier, right? Because, you know, you're probably gonna be a future leader one day and you gotta be able to take on that responsibility. But even like the mundane tasks, like they probably won't pick that retroactive soldier because they can't trust him with that extra responsibility, so they're just not going to touch him at all. And he's just going to be sitting up in the office just waiting for like something to come down, and even if it does, they'll probably pick that hard worker to go take care of it because they know they'll get results, which is good because results are important in the Army. But I feel like it just kind of like screws over and overworks that hard worker and turns that hard worker into a retroactive soldier, so he doesn't have to get all that responsibility as much anymore, you know. But that's just like, that could happen. Not saying it is, but, or does, but that's just one of the things I kind of disagree with. I would make that, you know, retroactive soldier do a lot of the mundane, tedious tasks, because, you know, like if it's the only thing he's gonna do, you know, and like he probably won't mess that up. But yeah, hard workers get screwed sometimes. That's number 4. All right, last but not least, number 5. The it's always been done that way mentality, right? So most of the time, like, you'll ask, like, you know, you'll have like fresh ideas, right? And you want to like, you know, like start implementing them, and like you ask people like, oh, why are we doing this way? You know, it's kind of like not time effective, it's not really producing, like it's getting the job done but not as efficiently as possible, and all they can say is like, oh, it's the way it's always been done, right? And you'll hear that a lot, but like that shouldn't really be the right answer, you know? You should be trying to come up with the way that is most effective, most efficient, it's gonna give you the most bang for your buck pretty much, right? It's gonna generate the same results but in like a faster, you know, easier way that doesn't, you know, utilize all the resources you have, right? You don't wanna be sending like 7 dudes to go do one job. They could probably take like 2 people to do, like 2 competent workers, right? But because it's always been done that way, you know, people just stick with it and they do it because it's what they know. And you know, best thing for that is just voice your opinion, just get your ideas out there and actually, you know, like make your voice heard pretty much, because you pretty much have to be the change you want to see. And that's just something I've always like never really like vibed with, I guess. Just because it's been done that way forever doesn't mean it has to keep being done that way. But that's just my take on it, and pretty much like, I don't know, yeah, just never liked it. But anyway guys, those are the 5 things I dislike about the Army. Don't get me wrong, like I completely signed the contract, I enlisted, I swore the oath. I'm down to do all of those things. They're just things that I don't particularly like vibe with or agree with, you know what I mean? But again, sign the contract, I'll deal with it. But for those of you that are joining or already in, comment in the comment section below what are some of the things you dislike or think you're gonna dislike about being in the military, right? I would love to hear them. I want to read them, I want to reply to the comments and everything like that. And in next week's video, I'll be talking about the 5 things I do like about the Army. There's a lot of other things I like about the Army, it's not just 5, but you know, just to start out with. And for those of you that are wondering about the facial hair, I'm currently on leave. So, you know, just kind of growing it out because I can. But I'll probably shave it off in a few days. But thank you guys for tuning in to this week's video. I really appreciate it. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, and also share this video on all your social media, Facebook, Instagram, all of that, Snapchat. And feel free to give me more video ideas, guys. I'm always down to listen to y'all and take your what you guys want to hear into consideration. I love it. Thank you for helping the channel grow, and I will see y'all in the next one.